Hello, everybody. Captain Marty here. Happy Friday for all of y'all that are working through the week. The weekend is upon us. Going to warm up a little bit, and we're going to go fishing somewhere. On the Outer Banks, you can always go fishing somewhere. I'll be back to give you some ideas on where that might be in just a moment.
Ready to enjoy the Outer Banks the way it was meant to be enjoyed? Then you're ready to take the whole family to Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. Start with a walk on the 1,000-foot-long pier to watch the sunrise or a reel in the catch of the day. Some of the best fishing on the East Coast is right here at Jeanette's Pier. Plus, Jeanette's Pier plays host to various events throughout the year, including professional surfing events. For the best day you'll have on the Outer Banks, go to Jeanette'sPier.net or give us a call at 252-255-1501. Jeanette's Pier, milepost 16.5, Nags Head.
Fishing Ocracoke is the ultimate lifetime dream for a lot of people. Captain Ernest with Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can help you achieve that dream to the fullest. Whether you're looking to go offshore for tuna, mahi, and billfish, or inshore for puppy drum, speckled trout, and more, Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner can go from 2 feet to 2,000 feet of water. Full day, half day, and evening trips are available. Call Captain Ernest at 252-921-0095. Gecko Sport Fishing and the Drum Runner. Make your Ocracoke fishing dream a reality.
So, the wind blew yesterday, and it blew hard. Even though we had a couple of boats that got out the day before on Wednesday, it was rough. It got really rough in the afternoon, but they had good tuna fishing, blackfins and yellowfins. Down in Hatteras, same thing before this little spell of wind that came in with these two cold fronts. They also had good blackfin fishing with a few yellowfins. They've had some really good wahoo fishing down that way. And both fleets, when it gets calm enough where you can see a grass line, it's not all busted up. The grass line, that means a sargasso seaweed line held together by currents, two currents, quite often on the inside edge of the Gulf Stream current, which runs north or northeast, and the Labrador current, which kind of is inside and runs south. And those two things together will push a line together if you have the wind usually out of the northeast or the southwest. So that's what they look for, and there's still a lot of dolphin or mahi in the area, mahi, and some of the restaurants that are trying to be politically correct, and that's fine. The offshore fishing has been good. In nearshore fishing, not a lot of effort. The bars have been a little bit challenging for the smaller nearshore boats, but there's been everything from ribbonfish to king mackerel to some big drum and big bluefish outside of the inlets. The cobia seem to all have gone south now for the winter. There's some other stuff too that will be moving down, like those king mackerel I just mentioned. So it's kind of wait and see. But I'm going to tell you, right now is prime time. From now till Thanksgiving is prime time to go looking for tuna, for yellowfin tuna in particular. And we had some really nice catches right ahead of this blow. So hopefully we'll have some more of that going on over the weekend. And by the way, if you said, well, I didn't come here planning to go on an offshore boat, I don't really have the money to charter the complete boat, there's still a few people around, and they can put you together, hopefully, on what's called a makeup charter, especially on weekends. Any of the major marinas might have other people, and I say might because this is getting into the off season or the late shoulder season, but they can put you together with other like-minded people, and you split the cost, you split the tip, you split the fish cleaning 4, 5, or 6 ways, depending on how many people are on the boat, and you go live the dream. Go offshore on a charter boat. You go on these charter boats are very uniform and very much the same in design, and they're widely considered to be the nicest charter boat fleet in the world. Many of them built locally right on Roanoke Island, and I had the good fortune of being a part of that fleet for a long time. So that is some thought for you. Now, as far as surf and pier fishing go, there's still drum being caught. Some of the piers are either shutting down or about to shut down, but there's still some big drum on the end of the piers. There's still some yearling drum in the surf. It just depends. You get the right tide, the right bite, and they like it rough. The drum bite is still on. Now, we're still talking about ocean fishing, beach and pier right now. There's also those big bluefish. Wow, we've really had an improvement in the big bluefish. And remember, in the 70s, the whole area this time of year was built on big bluefishing. Don't turn your nose up at them. I see you. Don't turn your nose up at big bluefish because they can be, I can tell you a way you could cook them that would be really good. Hey, wait a minute. How about I do tell you a way to cook them that will be really good? Only take a second, and it's a slow news day anyway. But big bluefish, fillet it, skin it. Make sure it's been iced properly. Now, a Taylor bluefish, a little one, is, man, one of my favorites. Filleted and skinned and fried, can't be beat. Big bluefish, if it's kept cold and it's fresh, fillet it, skin it, cut out the bloodline. Cut it into chunks. Chunks about half the size of a deck of cards, something like that. And by the way, there's plenty of these 8 to 15 pound bluefish around right now. And they're very affordable at the fish markets too, so keep that in mind. But after it's filleted, skinned, and you cut out the bulk of the bloodline, cut it into chunks. Boil those chunks in lightly salted water, and you don't have to boil them long. Let the water come to a boil, drop them into that for 2, 3, 4 minutes at the most. Take them out and drain them, set them aside. Then quarter and peel some potatoes. I like the red potatoes and leave the skin on them, but you do whatever you want. Chunk up some potatoes and also boil those. You can have that going on while your fish is cooking too if you have enough burners and enough pots. So you boil your potatoes until, of course, they're soft and drain them and set them aside. Then you fry up a pound of bacon or some fat back. The recipe really calls for fat back, but whatever you do, fry it up and crumble it up and save the grease. Yes, I said save the grease. I didn't say this was exactly heart healthy, but hey, you're on vacation, so you don't have to eat healthy food. So you got boiled potatoes, boiled chunks of fish, and you got bacon or fat back, and then you chop up a sweet onion as fine as you can chop it. And you sit everybody down at the table, family style is the way I like to do it. And the first thing you do is you put a couple chunks of the soft potato, boiled potato, on the plate. Then you sprinkle those chunks of fish, you can crumble them if you like, on top of the potatoes. And then on top of that, you sprinkle that bacon and a little bit of that crumbled onion, and then you sprinkle it with the meat grease. A little hot sauce would be a nice addition to top it all off. But when you sit down in the cool of the fall to a plate of that, family style, it's the recipe that the locals for a million years have used on drum down in Hatteras. In fact, it's called Hatteras style drum recipe. Works really good for big bluefish. So keep that in mind. That's a real simple way to try something new if you really want to try something good. They also, by the way, make really good fish cakes. So keep that in mind. Don't have time for that right now. But that's what's going on with that. We'll take a little break and I'll be back to talk to you about the backcountry.
Hi, I'm Captain Jay Cudworth of the Kokomo with Paradise Dolphin Cruises at Safe Harbor Marina in Wanchese. I want to invite you to take a ride out on the Roanoke Sound to see the majestic bottlenose dolphins up close. As a native, I'll be telling you stories from these waters as a boy growing up in Wanchese. Nature and history have combined to make this area unique, and I love sharing this special place with special people. So come on aboard with me and my crew and experience the real beauty of the Outer Banks. For more information, go online to ParadiseDolphinCruises.com. Again, this is Captain Jay. I look forward to seeing you soon.
So backcountry fishing also has been good, but it was really, really windy last couple days, so there hadn't been any of that going on either that I'm aware of. But the guys have been catching these species. I talk about them every day, but that's a good thing. If I wasn't talking about them, then we'd have a problem. Puppy drum and some keeper-sized slots was what was mostly caught the last couple days, meaning that they were in that slot where you can keep one per person. A few big drums still around, but they're getting ready to move out into the ocean, and that'll probably be the end of that for a while. Big bluefish that we mentioned in the surf are also back in the sound, and there's still, the sheephead have not slowed down all summer. If you have structure and you have live fiddler crabs, you're going to catch a sheephead. Remember what I always tell you, take a snow shovel if you have one, or a flat shovel or any shovel, and whatever you're fishing around, be it a bridge piling or a pier piling or whatever, scrape off the barnacles and just let them fall to the bottom, and that chums those sheephead up like you wouldn't believe. So that's pretty much what's going on the fishing front. While the news is a little slow, the recipe will be something you'll be happy to try, and I hope you do. We'll let you know what happens as the weekend progresses. God bless you and have a great day.